Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Python programming series. In today's lesson, we're going to learn about a very useful Python feature called the ternary operator. If you've already learned how to use if and else, you know that they allow your program to make decisions, but sometimes the decision is very simple. For example, we may want to choose one value if a condition is true, and another value if the condition is false. Instead of writing several lines of code, Python allows us to write this simple decision in just one line. That's exactly what the ternary operator is used for. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand its syntax, how it works, and when you should use it. What is the ternary operator? Let's start with the basic idea. A ternary operator is a short way to write a simple if-else statement in one line. Consider this example. Age equals 20 if age equals 18. Result equals adult else. Result equals minor. This code checks the value of age. If the age is 18 or greater, the variable result gets the value adult. Otherwise, it gets the value minor. This works perfectly. But Python gives us a shorter way to write the same logic. We can write age equals 20 result equals adult if age equals 18 else minor print result. The output is adult. So, instead of using multiple lines, we can make the decision in one line. For example, message equals pass if score equals 50 else fail. Python reads this as, if the score is greater than or equal to 50, use pass. Otherwise, use fail. Let's try another example. Suppose we have a number. Number equals 10. We want to know whether the number is positive or negative. We can write result equals positive. If number 0 else negative print result. The output is positive. Because 10 greater than 0 is true. So Python chooses positive. If we change the number equals -5, the condition becomes false. Therefore, Python chooses negative. We don't always need to store the result in a variable. We can use the expression directly inside print. For example, age equals 16, print adult if age equals 18, else minor the output is minor. Python checks the condition age equals 18 because 16 is not greater than or equal to 18. The condition is false. So Python prints minor. The ternary operator is also useful when choosing between two values. For example, a equals 10, b equals 20, larger equals a. If a b else print larger, the output is 20. Let's understand what happened. Python checks, a bis 10 greater than 20? No. The condition is false. So Python chooses the value after else. Band b is 20. Here's another common example. We can use the modulo operator to check whether a number is even. For example, number equals 8 result equals even. If number 2 equals 0, else on print result the output is even to expression. Number 2 gives us the remainder after dividing the number by 2. If the remainder is 0, the number is even. If the remainder is not 0, the number is odd.so when number is 8. The condition is true, and Python chooses even. The ternary operator can also work with Boolean variables. Let's say we have is logged in equals true way. Want to display a different message depending on whether the user is logged in. We can write message equals welcome. If is logged in else please log in, print message the output is welcome. If we change the value to is logged in equals false, the output becomes please log in. This is a simple and practical use of the ternary operator. Python also allows us to use a ternary operator inside another ternary operator. For example, score equals 85 result equals excellent. If score equals 90 else good. If score equals 70 else try again print result. The output is good. Here's how Python evaluates it. First, it checks score equals 90, this is false. Then it checks score equals 70, this is true. So the result is good. However, nested ternary operators can become difficult to read. For example, if we have many conditions, a regular if, elif, else statement is usually clearer. So use nested ternary expressions carefully. Let's finish with a few quick examples. Example 1. Check the temperature. Temperature equals 20, message equals warm. If temperature equals 20 else cold, print message output warm. Example: to check a password, password correct equals true, message equals access granted if password correct, else access denied, print message output access granted. Example 3: choose a number x equals 5, y equals 8, result equals x if x, y, else print result output 5. In each example, the structure is the same. Value if true if condition, else value if false only the condition, and the values change. The ternary operator is a good choice when you have one simple condition, two possible results, a short expression that is easy to read. For example, temperature equals 30, message equals hot if temperature 25, else cool. This is easy to understand. But if the logic becomes complicated, don't try to put everything into one line. For example, Instead of creating a very long nested expression, use a normal if, elif, else structure. Readable code is more important than having fewer lines. Let's create a simple program that checks whether student passed an exam. Score equals 75, result equals passed. If score equals 50, else failed, print your result. Result, the output is your result. Percent, if the score is score equals 40, the output becomes your result. Failed, this is a perfect situation for a ternary operator because we have one simple condition and exactly two possible results. And that's the Python ternary operator. The ternary operator gives us a concise way to make a simple decision in one line. The most important syntax to remember is value if true, if condition, else value if false. So how to use it with numbers, strings, Boolean values, comparisons, and even functions. But remember one important rule: shorter code isn't always better code. Use the ternary operator when it makes your code simpler and easier to read. If the condition becomes complicated, a regular if, else, or if, elif, else statement is usually the better choice. In the next lesson, we'll continue exploring Python and learn another useful programming concept. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next lesson.